Welcome back to Breaking the Curse with Sunshine and Nikki. I'm Nikki. This is my cousin Sunshine. And here we talk about breaking generational curses, building wealth, and so much more. We're so happy that you decided to join us today. If you're new, thank you so much for clicking on our video. We hope that you consider subscribing to our channel and being part of the family. And if you're returning, welcome back, fam. We missed you. And we hope that you get something impactful out of this conversation today. So, today's topic, I figured we would talk about serial cheating because, during my YouTube studies, I found the video, the intimacy series with Brenny Lee. She had Latiris R. Whitfield, the guy from the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Definitely say R. He was very clear about that. Don't forget.
Yes, he was. um, he was talking about being a habitual cheater in his marriage, and you know how that affected him. And I know, like, I don't know if you watched the Dear Future Wifey podcast, but what he was saying in this interview was nothing like what his premise of his podcast is on. Like, he's all about like celibacy and growth and church and all this stuff. So then to watch the video, it was like, whoa. um, it raised a lot of red flags for me, but I also appreciated hearing a man's point of view, a man of that caliber, like a man who's semi in the church, I'm gonna say. And just hearing his thought process on why he did the things he did. Cause I don't know about you, but I've been cheated on often and I've cheated. And I know my number one question is always like, well, why? Why? I want to know why. And
Okay, wait a minute. So pause. If you've cheated yourself,
mhm.
why ask why? Why do you do it?
So exactly, I always feel like my reason for cheating is so much different than a man's reason.
So
I
what's your
mean,
reason?
now that I'm growing and evolving, I'm realizing that it's kind of similar. But
Oh, okay.
um, so like he said, he was talking about he never healed the brokenness inside of him. But I will say my reasoning for cheating is different. Was different in every situation. So the first time I ever cheated, it was revenge. It was, oh, I'm gonna get my get back, and I'm gonna get my get back good, okay? Like I'm gonna go find your best friend or your daddy. Never. And my get back definitely was with the best friend.
You're so savage.
Yes,
You're so savage.
Lord knows. I had my moments. So yeah, the first time was revenge, and then the later times was because the relationship was just broken at that point. So it was kind of tit for tat, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was just stupid when we should have just kind of let that relationship go. And then other people were just collateral damage. Like I remember one guy that I was
Say that
seeing.
again. Say that. Repeat that again.
Yes,
Look what they are.
everybody definitely was collateral damage. The one guy I was dating, he was way older than me. I think I was like 21 and he was like maybe 39, 40.
Ooh. Well,
And he was married. Say it again.
I just so he could have been daddy for real.
Yes. Yeah. He was married. I used to meet up with him in hotels. And my ditzy self like believe the whole I'm separated from my wife situation. But I could never come to his house. We only talked at certain times. We met up at hotels. We went on dates far out. Basically we in Maryland, we going on dates in Virginia. you know. And I was just his little young thing on his arm. He got this little 21-year-old girl that he's showing off while he's married with kids. So I
Did you
think,
find that out?
um, I think it started clicking.
Okay.
it just started like I started asking more questions and it started clicking and then he slipped up and said something one day. It was like a holiday or something. And and he just couldn't answer the questions. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good on you. I'm good. Like it's cool. His wife like cause I mean I was seeing this man every day, multiple times a day. And I know I was blowing through his money. And I'm just like, as a wife now, I'm like, yo, your wife, yo. I can't imagine. Like, I know it was nights she wasn't coming home. Days where you supposed to be at work and you with me. I let that relationship go. When stuff started clicking, and then when I was like, yo, he's married, like he's still with her. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do this. And then the last time was because I thought I was in love with somebody. He was supposed to be a one night stand.
Mm.
I had met him at the club. Basically woke up with him, if we being honest. And it was different. Like our vibe was different. Like we talked the whole night. And we were like talking off and on, but I had a boyfriend and I was living with my boyfriend.
Okay.
And then I just felt different with him. And me and that boyfriend's relationship was already over, but we were dating. He was talking to multiple people too, like the guy that I thought I was in love with, and he ended up going to jail.
Who, the guy you thought you was in love with or the boyfriend?
The guy I thought I was in love with.
Oh, talk about removal. Okay.
Yeah, he went to jail. He went to jail for like 7 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Did you
And
love enough to do time with him?
so when he first went to jail, I like found him because we was like I ain't had no mutual friends with him or nothing like that. But this was also the guy where I was sitting here like, yo, that's the best D I ever had in my life. Like he was one of them. So when he got home from jail, he hit me up instantly. Like, yo, where you at? Like I know somebody wifed you by now. Like nobody wifed you. Oh, I'm right here. But he was never gonna be good enough for me because he did time and he didn't fit my my plan of what life looked like for me. So at that point I had already kind of, put him out.
Wait a
Like
minute. Let me get this straight. You thought you was in love with him.
hmm
He was the best or close to the best physical intimacy that you ever experienced.
hmm
But because he did time, that disqualified him for the rest of his life.
it was the fact that he did it was what he did time for.
Okay, well, I need to know. We can delete it. What did he do time for? What?
I can't marry you. Like you're not marriage material, but you're fun and I still think I love you, but I just can't get with the type of person you are. Like in that capacity. And I mean we messed around for years. Actually, he was the one I had just cut off in my marriage. Because we were just messing around off and on. He had a girlfriend. I had a fiance, boyfriend, then fiance, then husband. That whole relationship with him, that was the longest I've ever cheated with someone and the most in depth of the cheating that it went. Like, I was seeing him all the time. He had a girlfriend. I get makeup on him and, I'm trying to make sure I get the makeup off his shirt and, or making sure my perfume isn't on him when he go home and
So you're covering up for him.
yep. I'm doing all kinds of foolishness, me and him in weird places, and because I know that I can cover mine up. But I'm like, yo, y'all stupid. Y'all get caught all the time. It'd be the littlest stuff. It'd be a strand of hair, some lip gloss, like So it had got to that point when I was like, yeah. And he was getting so upset, like, yo, why won't you choose me? And I'm like, yo, I am sitting here cheating with you while you cheating on a woman you are living with, trying to have a baby with. It's no way that I'm ever gonna trust you for the fact that you'll never be able to not never, but right now you haven't shown me that you're at the caliber of being able to be the man that I need for you to provide for me or do anything like that. Like I gotta let that go. Like it's don't matter how great physical intimacy is, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
If he was single, well, I can't say single because technically he was. If he was available and you were still in the situation that you were in with your boyfriend or whatever, would you have chosen him?
Oh, absolutely. If I met him and I was single and he was single,
No, no, I
we
didn't say if you were single. Don't do
oh
that.
if I was in my relationship. If I would have had the guts to leave that relationship, then I definitely would have been with him.
Okay.
But it was the fact that I was having such a hard time leaving that relationship that made it difficult for me. But I was willing to. Like I think that's the first night that I stayed out all night. Yo, I pulled a him on him. That's the first night I stayed out. My son's father used to be gone for weeks at a time. He would say he going to the gym and he'd be gone for 2 weeks.
Dang, that's a heck of
Okay.
a workout. Good Lord.
Yes. He would be gone for days at a time. He was very disrespectful. And I ate it for years. But this was, and then he would come in the house, first thing he would do was take a shower. So I'll never forget that night I met homie in the club. I came home the next morning and it was my son's first birthday party. I had came right in the house and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And he like, yo, where the F you been at? And I was like, yo, I'm good. And I just went and got straight in the shower. Oh, I know you've been cheating. You came in the house and got in the shower. Like, I already know what's up. He was crushed. I mean,
They always are. They normally can't eat from the same plate they serve from.
he was crushed to the point where he was in tears like, yo, I know I ain't been good to you. Not only did you just go and do it once, he was you could have just did it once and came home. You stayed out all night and all morning. And it was like, well, welcome to my reality, sir. And I felt good. I was happy. That's when I knew something wasn't right. Because I was like, yeah, that's what you get. And it was good too. Like, I was just like extra. I was extra. But yeah. So those are my reasons. So like I said, every reason was time that I cheated. It was different reasons, but it was something going on with inside of me or my relationship where I wasn't being fulfilled or I wanted my get back or something like that that I ran to do other people.
Would you consider yourself as a habitual cheater or a serial cheater? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what makes it serial? Is it because you did it more than once, or like what makes that word
So
prevalent?
so I feel like a serial cheater to me is a person who continues the same behavior even with different people or within different relationships, because then you're telling me it's something within inside of you that you need to heal, because it can't be that every relationship you in is trash.
Yes, it can.
You think so?
Yes, it can. Because sometimes your picker is broken and you're just picking the wrong people. So yes, it can. And not to mention, oh Jesus, let me calm it down. All right. Not to mention, not to mention, a lot of times we attract the same type of person
Yeah.
repeatedly. So yes, it can be all them and not you per se. That may not be your situation, but for those that's out there listening, I'm not gonna ever buy into that, because sometimes even men do it. They pick the wrong women, period. It's just like, yeah, I thought this, but you didn't get to know her long enough. You didn't have an understanding with her. This part about her you loved, and you didn't even know about this part because you didn't even stay in the relationship long enough to learn this part about her. You went from friends to marriage in 30 days. Y'all was just good bed buddies and cuddy buddies, as they used to call it. And you thought you could turn her into a wife, and she wasn't marriage material. She didn't have an example of marriage. She didn't believe in marriage. For her, it was just the big party, the big wedding. She really didn't love you. She loved the feeling that you gave her. She didn't love the security that you provided. So men pick the wrong women too. And a lot of times, humans, that's just human nature. They go after the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is it about me that keeps attracting this type of person to me? And what is it about me that don't see this coming? After it already happened once or twice, it shouldn't be able to happen a third time. So now, you have to be more cautious and more careful. And you'll often hear people say, well, don't blame the next because of the last. Well, I'm not going to blame them because of it, but I'm not going to ignore the warning signs. I'm not going to ignore my triggers. I'm not going to act like I haven't had this feeling before in a negative way. You can't remind me of something negative by somebody negative that I've already been with. If you do that, then you out of there. You can give me good memories and good feelings of the parts of that person that was good. And it's like, oh, I like that about him, so this is cool, But if you remind me of my abuse and you ain't never hit me before, but in that moment, that's what you remind me of, deuces.
Yeah.
Deuces. If I can't go to sleep and you're not around, and I automatically think because you're not in the bed with me, that means you have to be in the bed with someone else. I can't do that because trust is just that big for me. I mean, you shouldn't have to live in the house with me. I shouldn't have to live in the house with you. We shouldn't even have to live in the same city and state as far as I'm concerned. If I trust you, I trust you. Some people in some ways I may be one of those people, but some people, you travel for a living. Well, every time you go to work, you got to worry about whether or not he got somebody else in the bed. I'm just not doing that. So if you remind me of anything in a negative way that I've been through, I can't do it because we attract the same type of people. And then I start examining Sunshine. It's not what is he doing wrong. It's what am I doing wrong that I can't get somebody to adore me, love me, protect me, that doesn't have those traits that these negative people have. What is it in me that's calling for that spiritually, so to speak? What is it that I'm putting in the atmosphere? What is the vibe that I'm giving that I can't get anybody that can actually treat me right? No, we're not going to do that. So I believe you can pick the wrong person, and I believe it can be everybody else because you keep picking the wrong person. We're not going to blame me because you can't keep your penis in your pants. We're not going to blame me because you can't keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
We're just not going to do that. If I have not given it to you, then that's not what I deserve from you, period. It's that simple. And in your case, if you're saying, and I'm sure it wasn't all times, but just in the story you was telling, it was revenge. It was get back. That means that someone else initiated it. And I have definitely returned the favor, but I can't even put myself into that position anymore because I have to live with me.
Yeah.
I have to sleep with me. I have to walk around with me and my thoughts. And I have to make sure that if today is my last day, that if there really is a heaven, I make it in because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I can't walk around trying to get you back. And while I'm trying to get you back, I end up in hell. What?
You know what? I was thinking about that this morning when I was like, oh, this is the topic for the day. And I was like, Woo wee. Woo wee. This last time, me and my husband dealt with infidelity, I did what I know how to do. So I was like, yo, get out. He like, no, I'm not leaving. We getting a legal separation. Sign these papers. We getting, nope, I'm not divorcing you. I don't, sorry, Nikki. I know you upset right now, but listen, I messed up, but we gonna, I'm not leaving you right. No, no, like let me put in the work. Nope, don't talk to me. I'm done. So then I just instantly just every single guy that approached me that wanted to talk to me that looked like he was halfway decent, here's my social media, here's my phone number. Old things, including that one guy that I thought I loved. I mean, it wasn't nothing. It literally all it take is what's up or hey. That's all it take for me.
Okay, so let's uh shift this for a second.
Mhm.
Is being a serial cheater always physical?
No. So that is what. So I cheat like a man. I don't really want to fall in love with you, but I want you to fall in. I want you to fall in heavy like with me, and I want to just have something physical with you.
Do you tell them?
That I don't want to be in love.
No, do you
Yeah.
tell them the only thing I really want is something physical with you? Do you tell them?
Yes.
How did
Yeah.
they receive that? Because they don't receive that well from me.
A lot. Well, so I had one guy this last go round. We've been friends forever. He acted like he received it well. Like he was like, "Oh, cool, that's what I want." Da, 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 you know. But then as it unraveled, I realized, like, well, clearly you want a little bit more of just the physical. Like, sir, what we talking for? Like, I don't need to talk to you today. Like, what are we? Are you sliding through? Am I coming through? Like, am I flying out to see you? Like, okay, have a good day. Enjoy work. Goodbye. Like, what are we talking about? I don't need to fall in love with your man. Like, that's not what we doing. So they sometimes they act like they get it. Sometimes they just like straight like nah. Like, I love you. Um, but I
I should
did.
have had a mimosa. I'm just saying, because this is about to get so as you're talking, I'm just thinking. Mm-hmm.
I did almost commit the physical act of infidelity or adultery as my get back this last go round that we dealt with it after I had the girls. But thanks to you, I yo,
I
my
respect
husband better come to you. He better give you the best gifts ever. Like, yo, thank you. You don't understand because if she would have got on that plane, this shit is over. This
Listen,
marriage would have been done
I
if I would
remember
have
when you
got on
sent
that
me the
plane.
text, and I'm like, what? Huh? What? No, I'm like, wait. We got to talk. You cannot. No, I understand what he did, but your soul. That's. But again, that's love for you. Love is concerned about your soul.
Yeah.
So love can want to hurt somebody with you and for you because you are hurting. Don't get it twisted. But love is gonna always protect your soul at any cost.
Mm,
Period.
yeah.
And I couldn't let you do that.
I appreciate that because the only reason we are here now, I swear, is because of you and grandma working through you and God. Because if not, I would have been busting it wide open all throughout the states, other states and countries. And I would not still be married, let alone having another baby. I wouldn't be. Because if I would have left, that would have been it. Number one, he would have never been able to look at me the same way. Ever. Ever. And then secondly, I think that would have just been a nail in the coffin for me. I would have been done. I would have been done. So yeah, this time is when I really did some major self reflection and I grew up and I grew. And even that guy that I thought I loved, that I had this long 12-year off and on relationship with, it was the end of our relationship too. In this moment, like, you know what? Have a nice life. I'm good on you forever.
Listen, if I've been bumping uglies with you for 12 years and you ain't changed my name, I just don't comprehend that.
I don't want you to change. I didn't want him to change my name.
But if I didn't let you change my name, I still don't comprehend that.
It was
That
because
that that situationship, as people like to call it, that lasted longer than most people's marriages nowadays.
yep, it did. It did. It did.
Okay.
So that's my long drawn out story about cheating and why I believe that I was a serial cheater. And I think that now I'm being born again.
Do you believe that you attract serial cheaters as well?
I do. So I always say I think that I subconsciously attracted my father.
Jesus. I can agree with that with you though. I can agree
Yeah.
with that with
Every man that I fell in love with and wanted to marry and or married had the same traits that my father possesses.
you. But you have to understand though, that is because he is your example of a man.
Yeah.
He is your example of a man. He is supposed to be your first love.
Yeah.
Okay. And in all actuality, no one is 100% bad anyway. So it's almost like the good qualities of him make you feel like you have to deal with the negative qualities of him. But in the end, quote unquote, it's all worth it, is what one's mind will convince them of. That's why you allowed or sought out someone who reminded you of him. Because he wasn't all bad. No one is,
Yeah.
you know. Okay.
Well, I think that that was also a good conversation for me and my husband to have and on this healing journey because we have daughters now. So I have a son that I feel like is looking at me to see what an example of a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have two daughters that's looking at him as an example of what a man is.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be very careful in how we move because it's not about us anymore. It's about all the generations that come after us. Because what we instill in these kids right now is what they're going to instill in their kids and their kids' kids. So we talk about breaking curses. If I don't change this in me and acknowledge that that wasn't all right and I don't want to live like that, then how do we make a positive impact on the future?
Well, accepting one's own responsibility is definitely what needs to be done. Most people want to point the finger, oh, his fault, her fault, his fault, her fault. But at the end of the day, you're not a child. You still have a right to make your own decision. And just because someone else has wronged you, doesn't mean that your get back as you has to be the same way. Your get back can be, I was about to say a bad word on YouTube. Person. My get back is you can't have me. My
Hmm.
get back is it's over. My get back is I hope it was worth it as you watch me walk away. My get back is I ain't gonna block you on social media, nothing like that. I'm gonna let you watch me with someone else. That's my get back. My get back is not going to be doing the same thing because that becomes a perpetual cycle of toxicity. And who wants that? Not at this stage in age in life. So accepting your own responsibility is a very big deal and it makes you able to deal with things better because let's be real, when you found yourself in the situation in your marriage, once you were able to accept what Nikki has done from day one, it made things calm down enough for you to be able to even defend him because everybody was so against him because of what he had done. That's just how life works. Well, yeah, I know y'all mad at him, but this is what I did before any of this happened. I may not have done it to the level he did or in the timing that he did, but I can't act like I've never done anything wrong. And that's a whole nother topic. Why do people believe they have a right to tell somebody how long it takes for them to heal from what they did to them? You can't hurt me and tell me, oh, you should be over that by now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just can't. So, and then everybody doesn't respond instantly to trauma and
Yeah.
disappointment. Sometimes it takes a minute. And then a lot of times when they do respond instantly, they didn't deal with it. The root of the situation still has not been dealt with. And as I often say, you have to eradicate anything from the root. If you just pull up a root, it's going to grow back. But if you get it from the root and burn the spot, then you don't have any issues about that same weed returning. Same thing in relationships. So, I mean, even with me knowing your situation, it's like, yeah, I don't like what he did, but now that I know more, well, okay, Nikki, if that was me, I probably would have did the same thing. That's just being honest. I mean, I know how I am. So it's like, I still don't like it, but some things we really do bring on ourselves. And if we can't accept that, then we have a problem when it's
Mm-hmm.
everything else. So it's a real big deal, whether it's you, myself, anybody who's listening, when you can honestly say, this was me, this is who I am, or this is who I was. It kind of calms the storm of everything else that's happening because you realize I kind of brought that on myself, you know. So, but let me say this, where me and a lot of people differ. I don't believe girlfriends and boyfriends can cheat on each other.
Mm-hmm. If y'all stuck it out in this video, we hope that you enjoy it. I know it might be triggering to some. And if it is, I'm sorry. I pray that you heal through any of that trauma that you need to work through.
The
Um, but
the
this is
only way
our,
to break generational curses is to trigger, just so you understand.
yeah.
We cannot, let me say it in a different way, because I choose not to. We will not apologize for transparency and show that is created to break generational curses. Period.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that our viewers understand that though we may laugh and joke and it might get more what's going on in the modern times, sexual or whatever the case may be, because that's a big part of the world that we live in. The reality is we don't lose
Mhm.
focus on what the show is about. So they should not lose focus on what the show is about because there are things that's going to trigger. There's things that's going to bring up recessed memories. There's things that's going to make them have to look in the mirror. There's things that are going to make them laugh as well as things that's going to make them cry. But in the end, if they are here with us, they are here because it wasn't just for you and I or just our bloodline. It was just a general statement for people, period. We all need to break generational curses. And if us being transparent causes someone to look into their situation and try to heal from it, then we've done our job. So we're not going to apologize. We're not going to do that for being honest and transparent. No. Then you can say, I'm sorry.
I agree. Well, I agree. So yeah, if y'all hung in this long, we appreciate y'all, and I hope that you take something from this episode, and I hope that you're just a better person from it. I hope that it makes a difference in your life, and that you have the peace and the clarity and the understanding to just make some changes and just be better, not just for yourself, but for those around you and those that are going to come after you. Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do, and it's uncomfortable. It gets very uncomfortable at times. Sometimes it's even embarrassing. But what is not revealed cannot be healed.
We
So
really
we
just
have
want
to be.
y'all to know. I'm sorry for interrupting. That is so poor of me.
Mhm.
But we want y'all to
Mhm.
know that y'all are not alone. Y'all are not the only ones who have dealt with these things. No. While we heal, we want y'all to heal with us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Send this video to someone right now that you think may benefit from it, because that helps us grow as a channel. Don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment box below, and check the link in the description box for all of our social media links. Until next time.